Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We've just seen the biggest liquidation event since FTX, the second largest in Bitcoin short history, which took place last week. Bitcoin, it's at $56,000. Germany has pulled the reverse Uno card after selling $315 million worth of Bitcoin last month. They've bought the dip, they've stacked back 111 million. 0.5, or did they? It's a little bit more nuanced than that. We are going to dive into the Mount Gox sell pressure as well. Let's dive straight into the Bitcoin news this morning. This is the fast facts. Let's get it. German lawmaker Joanna Couture says a country selling their Bitcoin is not only not sensible, but counterproductive. Instead of holding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve currency, as is already being debated in the USA, our government is selling on a large scale. I informed other MPs why this is not only not sensible, but counterproductive, invited them to our lecture event with Samson Mao, Bitcoin Strategies for Nation States, October 17th. Little bit of a while away. It looks like they have reversed course. What happened? They have sold 315 million in Bitcoin since mid-June, bringing the total sales to over 390 million in less than a month. And the reverse Uno card, they pulled it. Okay, seriously, WTF, what is happening here? This is Thomas from HeyApollo.com. Germany surprised $111 million Bitcoin buyback. We're going to get to the bottom of this. After dumping Bitcoin on the market yesterday, Karl B. Menger, Germany bought back 1,915 Bitcoin today. Maybe they realize they can't print Bitcoin, but they can print the euro. So they surprised $111 million Bitcoin buyback. What's going on here? Germany's government has purchased 1,915 Bitcoin worth 111.5 million, reversing recent sales. This buyback follows large-scale Bitcoin sales that has stirred market volatility. Justin Sun, founder of Tron, we covered this last week. He did propose negotiating with the government to minimize market impact. I don't think they ever took him up on that offer there. And a surprising reversal, reverse Uno. The German government, known for the large-scale Bitcoin sell-offs, has just bought back a significant amount of Bitcoin. Data from Arkham Intelligence reveals a purchase of 1,915 Bitcoin worth 111.5 mil. Major exchanges, Kraken, Bitstamp, and Coinbase. I don't think it's this. This move comes after weeks of high-profile Bitcoin sales by the German government, which has sparked market volatility and raised questions about their crypto strategy. Sudden buyback has ignited speculation and renewed optimism among Bitcoin investors worldwide. So what is really going on? Wait. What? German government bought back Bitcoin. People are laughing. So basically, people ruin their lives at the idea of Germany and Mount Gox selling. You can't make this up. Oh my God, they bought Bitcoin back. If this isn't a bottom signal, nothing is. If it's red, if it's green, don't worry about it. We just buy, we stack, and we chill. Not financial advice. What is advice? Is study Bitcoin. Make the most of it. Shout out to everyone watching live, watching the replay this morning. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. British HODL diving in here. If the Bitcoin price bounces, this is last week, aggressively as US markets come to open, as a conspiracy theorist, I can't help but think Germany has been a BlackRock agent transferring Bitcoin to the US ETS. Like the US has all the gold put in Fort Knox, stumps like this are never a coincidence, which is pretty interesting considering what happened. Peter Schiff taking the opposite side, the other argument here. Bitcoin pumpers blame the decline on Mount Gox repayment-related sales. While this, it's part of the story. The rest is that the sell-off exposes the myth of institutional demand. Now pay attention to this one here. As such demand really did exist, buyers would jump at the chance to buy the Mount Gox Bitcoin off the market. Diving over to James Seifert from Bloomberg. Bitcoin ETS doing the exact opposite of dumping in the first 20% drawdown since launch. Hunter Horsley, 30 mil inflows into BitB today. Bitwise PM team efficiently purchased Bitcoin at less than half of 1 basis point of cost. Fidelity ETF investors, they bought the dip in a big way. 117 million in inflows. This marks their largest daily inflows since early June. In case you missed it, Bitcoin times here. Mount Gox has started distributing billions in owed funds, likely causing Bitcoin selling pressure and a 6% dip back to 54K. This can still come online. But if we look at the chart, Peter Schiff, he said the institutions, if they're interested, they would buy the dip. Yes, we're red today, but the institutions, they did buy the dip. The dip was all the way down here. Institutions came back after the fourth, pumped it all the way back up to $58,000 over the weekend. It's pulled back a little bit. What do you reckon next week as it happens? Or tomorrow, it's Monday here in Australia. I reckon they start smashing that buy button hardcore. They're getting excited for it. We did see Wall Street institutional investors come in a very large way. This dip, it's very healthy. We will get to the fear and greed indicator later on in the video. One quick reminder, if you haven't already, just smash the notification. It's that bell button. And that way, every time I go live, you will be informed by the masters, by the matrix. Absolutely incredible to see. Back at 57,241. Let's see where the low was in the last 24 hours. 56,668. 666 there. Over the last 7 days, we had a low of 54,000, a high of 63,000, $9,000 week. On this channel here, we've been talking about 10, 20, $30,000 days to the upside, to the downside. They're going to happen. We saw this over a week, nearly $10,000. These are opportunities. Last week, I got to stack 4 times. Hopefully, you bought the dip, made the most of this glorious opportunity. Understand it can get a little bit rocky, a little bit shaky. It's history, it doesn't repeat, but it's rhyming pretty hardcore at the moment. It's pretty exciting. So hopefully you did make the most of this blessed opportunity that we have. But carrying on, Bitcoin ETF investors, they bought the dip on Friday. Inflows topping 140 million. Price of the world's largest crypto has seen a very modest bounce since tumbling below 54K early Friday. Returned to their screens following the July 4th break. US traders, they'll confront him with a historic plunge. It's only historic for them because they've only been here since the start of the year. They're getting all excited about it, but it's nothing new for everyone that's been here for a while. For the season, Bitcoin astronauts out there, based on ETF data, they decided to lift the offer. Do you lift, bro? Wall Street lifts, bro. They stack those sats and absolutely chill. According to numbers compiled by Farside investors, US-based, they're based spot Bitcoin ETFs, saw 143.1 million in net inflows on Friday, the largest high level of inflows in at least 2 weeks. I got the electrician giving me a call at the moment. Mate, last time... Sideline real quick and we'll get back to the news. Last time the electrician came and he put in this aircon, Bitcoin was at like $17,000 odd, and he wouldn't take Bitcoin. Now it's at $56,000. It's just time. I gave him a book to read. He didn't read the book. So hopefully everyone out there is reading the books, not eating the bugs. We'll dive into that part shortly. As for price action, Bitcoin has seen a very modest bounce since tumbling from nearly 61,000 Wednesday to under 54K early Friday, currently trading back to 56,800. That's down 6% from the week ago levels, and roughly, this is where people are getting all scared. 23% all-time high above 73,500 set in mid-March. 25-30% pullbacks, corrections are very healthy, especially we went from $17,400 odd all the way up to $73,500 to come back to $56,000. It's actually a blessing, but it's very healthy for us to stabilize, form a new base before we can go up high. Can we come back down? Of course we can, especially with Mount Gox. If people just start panic selling and they start panic selling into very low liquidity, entirely possible we come back, especially at these lower prices. 49K, I don't know, pretty highly unlikely. We'll dive into what Fred Krueger has to say about it, but be prepared. But for me, I'm not expecting. I sort of expect it. Up, down, and sideways, I expect. Do I think it's highly probable? Not as likely as going back to 60K first, but it depends. We'll see what the market does. What happens on the macroeconomic side. But there you have it, folks. The Bitcoin therapist here retweeting the honey badger. Bitcoin's liquidation event the biggest since the FTX collapse. Yikes. And you can see this here, massive wicks down. This was FTX back here. This is the second largest in Bitcoin's history. And I understand that causes a lot of fear. We'll dive in. Let's just bring it up right now. Ads. Don't we love them? Fear and greed index. It's reset. It's down to fear. I think it hit extreme fear the other day, but yesterday I was in at 26, a little bit higher. Now people are starting to get a little bit more excited. It'll update in 2 hours and 13 minutes. Nothing to be fearful about. As Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, aside from when it comes from Bitcoin, Warren Buffett thinks Bitcoin's rat poison squared. No idea what's going on. He's just not interested, whatever. And he's part of the fiat system. The current elite, they don't like things that threaten them, but be greedy when others are fearful. That buy button, enjoy it. It's glorious. But breaking, Ash Crypto, $171 million worth of shorts has been liquidated in the past 24 hours. When we're talking about large liquidation events, 117 million hurts a lot of people. People are getting wrecked. Bears are getting wrecked. A lot of that's from trading on leverage. Best idea, unless you know exactly what you're doing. Someone like Oliver Velez trading on leverage. I'm not even sure if he does. He doesn't trade Bitcoin. He trades everything else for Bitcoin. It's a pretty quick way to be able to destroy yourself, wreck that portfolio. You're here for number go up. Bitcoin goes up exponentially. We don't need to add leverage, more risk on top of it. Otherwise, things like this happen. $171 million of people absolutely destroyed. And really, I guess they deserve it. It's not fair, but maybe just be a little bit sensible. Slow and steady wins the race instead of blowing up the account, wiping it out. Fred Krueger. I really like this. So this is in regards to Mount Gox. There's a lot of coins, 140,000 Bitcoin that could come onto the market. Some of them are going to dump. So a bit of a thought experiment from the mathematician. We were at 65K. It became clear Mount Gox sales in Germany sales would happen in the next 30 days. Let's assume 4 billion between both happening in July. If this would be done gradually at a 40x multiplier, that's 160 billion in market cap, or about 8% price. Let's say 59K. Pretty interesting. So let's assume 4 billion in speculative shorts move and capitalize. They shorten futures. Again, if this was a slow, deliberate move, it might move things to 59K, but it's not. It's a concentrated manipulation designed to create panic. We get double that move, down to 53K. It's pretty amazing, hey? This is extremely high risk, short-term, hot money move. This kind of trader wants to take money quickly off the table. In the end, the arm trader makes money maybe 20% off the 4 bill, or close to $1 billion in profit. Be 25%, Fred, but close enough's good enough. 1 billion cap, 800 million. Where does that money come from? Short-term holders who panic and Mount Gox holders who sell. In a month or two, this is the most important part. Everything is forgotten, futures are closed, and the beach ball pops back up to the surface. As a long-term holder, you don't care. As a Gox holder, you don't care. The lettuce hands are flushed down, the market can scream higher. Clear that at least 50,000 Bitcoin, maybe more shorts, are in this trade. That was posted back on July 5th, which was Friday over in the state. He called it pretty well, hey? Fair and greed, we hit that 29, nice and healthy. Block clock time. Before we get into that, shout out to everyone that is watching live, watching the replay. Hopefully you had a grand and glorious for all my friends over in the States, 4th of July. Hope you had a lot of fun. You got to orange pill a couple of people. Send that signal there. What were those conversations like around the barbecue? Was it, hey, did you get the game? Yeah, I saw the game. Hey, how about we talk about this not that Bitcoin thing? Or what were they like? Were people starting to be more and more receptive? Let us know in the live chat or the comments below. But block height, grand and glorious. We've broken above 851,000. We've got a new one, 851,149. Every 10 minutes, roughly, we get a new one. 48 seconds ago, we saw that block live. Blocks to go to the next halving. Under 200,000 now, 198,851. The exchange rate, 56,436. Sats per USD, not above 1800 anymore, but 1772. Market cap $1.11 trillion. And the German government bought $111 million worth of Bitcoin. I'm just looking for rhyme with no reason there. Block time, absolutely on point, and the hash rate, we've got 1% has come back online in the past 24 hours. It's gone a little bit fast here, just 147 blocks over the target, 144 in the past 24 hours. Public reachable nodes, 19,571. As it says there, run a node. Absolutely imperative to be a sovereign individual. Now, this is pretty interesting, and this ties directly to Bitcoin. UK. Less than 48 hours after installing Britain's version of Trudeau, the following are now underway. And before we do dive into this, I promise you I have zero ideas about UK politics. Absolutely no idea. Little bit of food for thought, and just following the path, the pattern, the who, the wef here, it's pretty interesting. Alignment with the EU, migration allocation from the EU, return to full WHO health control, digital ID, CBDC, net zero on acid, exactly as expected. The digital ID and the CBDC is the reason I bring this up. Digital IDs and CBDCs are not good for your freedom. It's when the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, three-letter unelected globalist elite control every part of your life. I like the top part. No. Digital ID, now on steroids under Labor. Global corporations call on Labor to rapidly pass a digital ID bill to support the UK's ambition to achieve global leadership in trusted and responsible data-driven innovation and AI. Total control. UK authority. Digital ID organisations call on new government to recommit to digital verification. Nobody wants that. Everyone in Australia, we've already got it, and it's not mandatory, but it will be. Slowly, then suddenly, same thing here. It's happening in Western countries all around the world. It's like they're all following the same orders. Here's new Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer meeting with Bill Gates. What do you think they talked about? What's Bill Gates up to with digital IDs, working alongside the World Economic Forum? They are meeting there. The point is to have digital IDs, CBDCs. Even Christine Lagarde was saying they're ready with a digital euro. It's all lining up for total control, total serfdom. So maybe just stack Bitcoin in case you need it in cold storage. If we can flip here, run a node, be your own bank, be a sovereign, independent, financially literate person, because what's happening, maybe it doesn't get as bad as what it potentially could be, but the money, if you've got money in a bank, it's the bank. You've loaned it to them. They've got total control of it. CBDCs potentially could be a whole lot worse. We have seen that in certain countries. They're pretty bad. And who knows what they're like when they get them in the West, but maybe better not to find out or get Bitcoin while you still can, or at least read the books about it. And then when it comes to Bitcoin, you need to be very careful. People are starting to target Bitcoiners, Bitcoin miners. Jameson Loop, 2 separate busts recently of thieves who each stole $500,000 worth of Bitcoin miners, one bust in LA, the other in Baton Rouge. This is pretty funny. Don't they know these devices rapidly lose value while sitting in storage? Of course they do, selling them for tech parts. But that's one area. They've come after the Bitcoin miners' shipment. And then infra, don't store your Bitcoin on exchange. Number 2, don't store more than a small amount of single wallet at your house. 3, spread your multi-sig across multiple different cities, states. Better way to be able to do it, reach out to the Bitcoin way, but use a Fani for your phone service. This will likely only get worse as time goes on. What's this referring to? The FBI bust group of crypto-seeking home invaders, June 25th, 2024. As a young guy is 24, and they're breaking into people's houses, beating them up to be able to get their Bitcoin. Don't store your Bitcoin at your house, and then, like this gentleman saying, just a little bit on your phone and your Lightning wallet or whatever for the circular parallel economy. absolutely insane. It is happening. You do need to protect yourself, do the right thing. It's not fear mongering. It's just being aware these things can happen. Put things in place so nobody can get it. Become sovereign. Good lead into today's sponsor, the Bitcoin Way. These guys can help you become a sovereign individual. Number 1, get your money right. 2, get your digital infrastructure right. 3, get a second passport. Get out of Dodge if you need to a tax-friendly jurisdiction, somewhere that will respect you, the proof of work you have put in. We'll leave it there. The first 30 minutes is free. Just talk to the team. Be like, hey, this is my setup, or my setup looks sort of like this. Where are the holes? They'll tell you. If you have any, you can work with them. If you don't, you're sweet. Or talk to them about their other service. Tony and the team, absolutely epic. Link top of the description. Really cool. And Tony, if you're watching, I'll give you a holler today. Norbert, great news. Absolutely great news. It's something to be excited about. Really, really excited about. Obviously, we all know Craig Wright is not Satoshi, but Craigie just keeps finding out. The High Court today handed down a worldwide freezing order against Craig Wright in the sum of 1.548 million quid or pound. Can somebody correct me here? This is total ignorance on my part to support the recovery of my legal fees. Absolutely well done to the High Court there. Oh, and this is a little bit scary. So shout out to Peter McCormack. Man, he went through some trouble, didn't he, with Craig Wright? What a horrible person he was for the people caught up in that. But rational Aussie, people should be terrified of this. The currency is rapidly devaluing, but instead they're celebrating like the idiots they are. The big melt up is beginning. The reason I bring up the big melt up, this is talking about Australian homes. Suburbs where owning your home pays better than being a CEO. Happening everywhere. We've talked about home price as well. If we do get a big melt up or melt down, that property is already a Ponzi scheme. Bitcoin's going to rip absolutely high. It also is outside the system, so digital IDs, CBDCs, anything like that. Just to be sovereign, to be able to have private property that once you buy it, there's no ongoing cost like there is repairs to a house. Trust me, it happens. Hence the reason the electrician is cooling. It's pristine private property. It's energy money. We live in an energy world. The world is literally just energy, being a little bit esoteric. I get it. But I can't remember the name of the law. But the adoption law, however long it takes to get to 10% of market share is how long it'll take to get to 90%. Lawrence Lepard and I were talking about this. It's taken 15 years roughly to get to 10% adoption or awareness. It's going to take another 15 years to get to 80, 90% adoption. We're still so early. Wall Street really, Bitcoin's financialized really just this year with Wall Street coming in for better or for worse. Everything's going to melt up. Bitcoin's going to be the fastest horse in the race. And the reason why I bring up housing is this is great for people that own our house. Cool. Our house has gone up, whatever, the house, more maintenance, everything like that. But if you're saving for a house, you're saving for a car, you want a plane, a boat, a train, whatever it is, most likely the easiest way is to be able to save in Bitcoin. Yeah, your purchasing power to increase rapidly, then use that for the deposit and also keep some in savings for your retirement. I just don't know how people, especially the young people, if they haven't already gone into the property game, are going to do it. Of course, the banks will just lend them money. They think it's exciting as. They just print it, they make it up, and they keep people enslaved. Say a 30-year-old though, $1.2 million mortgage, they're going to be indentured to the banking system forever. I don't know. Maybe it's better just to rent. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. That's the Bitcoin news with the fast facts. We're going to dive into a bit of a Bitcoin banter this morning. And if you can, smash the like button. If you're hanging around or you're on your way off, greatly appreciate it. Been a pleasure. Now, shout out to everyone here this morning. Hopefully the fourth was good, hey? Greetings, Sean, Johnny Midas in the house, Jake Thomas in the house, Chris Arvo. Have you had brekkie yet, you bludger bloke? No, I don't eat breakfast. I wait until, 9:30 to 11:30 to eat lunch, and then I eat dinner very early, about 4:30, and then I fast all the time between. Next year's news will be Bitcoin crashes to $150,000. Chico, well, I definitely see that as a very high probability and possibility. I've been FOMO panic buying all weekend. TN permaculture. Hasn't it been good, grand, glorious? It's amazing. I understand it shakes people up a little bit. Not sure why the human brain doesn't like to see red, especially when there's 666 in the back. It's there. The devil's trying to scare people off from smashing that buy button, but the people making the most will beat the devil. The devil's gone. Somebody hit buy. See how good it is. But TN permaculture, I feel you, man. It's been a good weekend. And after 4 years of trying to orange pill my mum, I sent her the Tony video from the Bitcoin way. 4 years it took her, and then she watched one video. She's like, I'm ready. She was setting up a self-managed super fund last night. So keep it down there for my mum, would be greatly appreciated. But of everyone, and especially my mum, you get Bitcoin at the price you deserve. So whether it's red, green, it's not going to be this cheap forever. Does it play out with Mount Gox for a little bit? Volatile, of course. It's Bitcoin, but when in doubt, we just need to zoom out. And yes, it's better than owning your own home, in my opinion. Smash the like on the way in. Big rainstorms in flyover country USA. Internet on the brink. Y'all play nice and I'll catch the replay. Appreciate you, Jake. Had a bit of odd weather here as well lately. Well, the German government did not buy back any Bitcoin. No, it looks like they just got their market order sent back to them, which is, I guess it meant less sell pressure onto the market. And I wonder why they didn't leave it just on the exchange ready for the next opportunity. I don't know. I don't know how those things work in the back end there. But my belief is if they intended to sell it, once it got back up to 60-odd thousand, 64,000, they'd just leave it there. Wait there, maybe through regulation, their permissions, their red tape, their bureaucracy. Maybe they're not allowed to do that. But I wonder if this means they've finished. I don't know. I do not know. Maybe they just wanted to front run Mount Gox FUD here a little bit. But isn't it strange selling it on the 4th? A really low liquidity in the market. That's odd. That's a really strange thing. I asked my community if they want me to talk about Bitcoin or watch me eat peanut butter, PB and J sandwich. Yeah, and what did they say? They chose PB, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Missed Android, it's 2024 and you think there'd be more nodes running, only less than 20K. They're super cheap to run. They're very easy to run. And you're not broadcasting your transactions to the world. There's no reason not to. And I don't think there's a reason why you wouldn't want to once you understand it. I don't know. Let us know why you're not running a node. If you're not running a node, they're super easy. You can either buy them pre-made or, like me, you can build it yourself. It's on a short lead there. But you can get little case and whatever, plug it in. They work a treat. Why not? I see you're a health nut like myself. Get some goober grape and wonder bread. Most times. Gargoyle in the house. Good to see you, Gargoyle, this morning. I only use Trust Wallet. Floki Looney. Finally, I'm off work and you're live. Let's effing go. Floki, shout out to you this morning, mate. Bitcoin is my savings account, my stablecoin, and my retirement. Daddy-o, I'm in the house with you on that one. Just moving the prison along. Let's effing go. Cafe Racer, I'm not sure if I've seen you in the chat this morning. Shout out to you. Carl Harris, are we resetting 52K very soon? Retesting? Not sure. I do not know. I'd expect it. Like we're at 56,000. Mount Gox comes on. I think once Wall Street comes in, we'll see tomorrow whether they start buying or selling. They start selling and then a little bit of Mount Gox comes into the market. Maybe we see more liquidations down, shorts getting, or longs getting wrecked. People have probably gone long since. I think we'll know in the next couple of days, but honestly, I can't answer you with any conviction. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. it's I don't know. It bounced back pretty quickly with a lot of conviction. So maybe 54K more likely first. Obviously, it needs to go through. I was all paid for trams. Buy Bitcoin under 100K AUD, it's a bargain. Even under $100,000 US, it's still a bargain. When I was talking to my mum, and not advised at all, I said, Mum, just go as hard as you can till it's 100K and then just DCA all the way. It really doesn't matter, especially if it's like I'm just looking to hold it for 10 years until she retires. Like, great time. Couple of cycles, 2.5 cycles. Well done, Mum. That's 2034. A lot of people reckon Bitcoin's going to be at $1 million or higher at that stage, and a lot of people are seeing that. What price will Bitcoin be? Nobody knows. Does it really matter? It'll be what it'll be. It really depends how fast they fire up the money printer there. Average G, I think he's got the right idea. Not worried about the price for the next 10 years. Just get my paycheck and smash by red days are great. G'day. 100%. Legend. Benjamin J, which video did you can finally convince her with? Yeah, I'll bring it up. It's I think it is the most important video I have ever made. If we go to my channel here, and so it's G'day Bitcoin, but you just hit, well, even on the home page, no, that's today. Hit videos. It won't bring it up for me, but this one here, become unconfiscatable. I'm gonna pull this video down shortly, remaster the audio there. It's really bass heavy, and it's just because we had a little bit of audio problems, but I'll tidy it up, I'll get it reposted, but at the moment it's there. It'll have Tony Yazbek's face on there, become unconfiscatable. Talks about what happened in Lebanon, what's happening, digital IDs, CBDCs, everything, but very grounded, very level-headed. If you haven't watched it, I'd highly suggest you do, but it's orange-pilled a couple of people's parents because he's talking from a place of truth, of pain, of conviction. He understands it so fully. It's a really bloody decent video. It's intense, really intense, but that's the video. Manipulation central. German government was selling only because they had a huge short position. Bag holders everywhere. Imagine if nation states start doing that. They put in a short, then they dump a big bag. It's literally a game they could play. Wouldn't that be interesting? That would be insane. Drops down, they profit off the shorts, they buy back as well. It pumps it, then they go long, and then they buy it back. I don't know. Why couldn't they do that? Average Geo, 2 nodes up now. Start now is pretty nice option. Absolutely. Pre-built, easy to go, plug and play pretty much, eh? Whoa, hey, Floki, thoughts on ETH? It's rubbish. I'm not interested. It inflates away. Nobody knows the issuance schedule of it. Nobody knows the rules. They change all the time. It's a garbage tech play, in my opinion. I'm not interested. I'm here for the sound money, the hard money, for unconfiscatable freedom, money to be a sovereign individual. That's my thoughts on ETH, to put it lightly. I'd love to see a 40 handle the next week. If only. Would be amazing for us used to it. G'day, so I'm Carla in the house. 1 sat equals $1. Smash like and don't be lazy. Like Fiat, you might have a chance. People are saying there is another Great Depression on the horizon. This would crash the stock market and Bitcoin for years. Yeah, it would. Bitcoin would, in my opinion, be the fastest horse in the race in a recession. I think in the past we've seen people going to gold, silver, hard assets. And every crisis there's opportunity. Hopefully, I don't think it's going to happen until after. I think most likely, like, it's not hyper Bitcoinization. We're not just going to go up in a straight line forever. Well, we are, but there is going to be this blow off top, this cycle. Then do we go into a depression? Does things reset? I don't know. I'm not so convinced that this happens soon. As this conversation with Lawrence Lepard, we dove into it a bit. How long can they keep kicking the can down the road for? Like, really, how long can they keep doing it? Not that long. Maybe it lasts a little while and we do have a Great Depression or recession, it's actually really healthy and there's great opportunity there. But where's Bitcoin go to? Say it hits 250,000, we have a Great Depression, comes back to 100K, 120K. These numbers, nobody knows what they will be. I don't think it's going to be as low as $56,755 after we reach peak. But maybe, and all we need to do is just smash and enjoy it. No matter what happens at this stage, check the past, we always recovered. Banks, ETFs, institutions are here. You win if you hold long enough, easy. And that's the point. That's part of the point. The number go up, but also the freedom, the sovereignty side of things. You get to a certain point with your Bitcoin stack, and if you're new here, it probably happened this cycle pretty quickly for you. Maybe it takes 2 cycles. It happens pretty fast. If you don't sell, if you don't panic, you just follow the game plan, read the book, and then you get to a certain point and you're like, cool. The number's just the number. The technology is the revolution here, and it gives you a whole lot of power and conviction behind you. I don't know. Both sides, you can have one or the other, but Bitcoin offers both. David Webb, don't think so, that's theft. Not sure what's that in regards to Watcher 123. I'll Google David Webb. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Have a beautiful day. Do something nice for yourself, for somebody else. Smash the notification bell. We'll see you tomorrow on the next one. Oh, 2 really cool guests. On Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we've got Cam, and very interesting Bitcoiner. He's got a beautiful aeroplane, so I'll be talking a lot about flying, talking about Bitcoin, stacking sats, putting in the proof work. And Rob and Say will come on Friday to round out the week as well. In conversations with British Hodl, the time zone works out a little bit funny, but I'll bring you a podcast or a live episode with BH coming up shortly. If there's anyone else you'd like to see on the show, either for a live chat, just a little bit more of an informal banter as we go through the news, let us know. For a dedicated podcast, let us know. Greatly appreciated. Have a glorious one. Peace.